G'day, gang. I'm BRAE from Dear Seattle. Our new album, Toy, is coming out January 17. It's the best record we've ever done. Go grab it. Listen to it. It's sick.
Better wrap than that, mate. We don't even need to talk about
Yeah, interview done.
it. So, bro, you do release your third album, Toy, this Friday, January the 17th. So, how you feeling? You seem in boisterous spirits?
Yeah, good. It's so nice. We've just done a couple interviews before this, and it's so nice just getting to chat about the album and kind of let everyone in on the process of what we've been doing for the last, 2 years or so. So yeah, I'm super excited. All the lead up's been great. The energy's good. The sentiment at the shows has been awesome. Yeah, I couldn't be more stoked.
Actually, you raise a good point there, bro. Like, some of the fans sit back and look and they go, fuck, they haven't done anything about 2.5 years. Or what have they been sitting on their ass? And it's like, you got no idea what goes into this, brother.
Yeah, fully. It's a process, and not only is it like a process like writing the songs themselves and going through the process of writing as many songs as you can and then picking the best, but like you have to live in between, like you've got to experience things to then write about them, you know what I mean? So I don't understand the people who just like King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard just like chucking out 4 albums every year. It's like, what do you write about? Like it's like what you had for breakfast that morning or something.
I was told, mate, they got a big back catalogue.
Yeah, yeah, fully.
You bring up a good point there, mate. Like, you guys do write a lot of music compared to what goes on the actual album. So, what's the process of elimination like? Is it diplomatic or is it like I'm winning that argument?
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, in the past, it's been a bit of if someone feels really strongly about it, then it'll push it through. But for this record specifically, like we really set out with the intent of making it be as strong as possible from start to finish, and making the singles as good as the album tracks because we just wanted it to be like on this other level beyond our last records. And as a result, we were like, okay, if there's anyone in the band who's like not particularly feeling one of the songs, it doesn't go on. Like it has to be everyone across the board being like, yep, that's a jam, unanimous vote. So it was actually quite diplomatic in that sense. It was really good.
You have any of those like jury duty moments where there's that one person digging their heels in and you had to talk?
Yeah, classically it was always me kind of being like, there should be these other like 4 slow songs that are really soft and kind of do nothing. And everyone's like, I don't know, man. I'm like, no, but just like listen to it more closely. They're like, I don't know.
Another one.
Yeah, but yet to come.
Tell us a bit more about Toy from a musical point of view and what you're actually going for with it.
Musically, honestly, we were trying to just make it something that we felt really strongly would resonate both live and on record. Because I think on the last record, yeah, we didn't really get to experience like the live side of it too much, and it was a COVID record, all that kind of stuff. So it was a bit limited in that sense. And so coming into this one, especially knowing we had so much touring last year and even more this year to come, it's like, what's stuff that's going to be fun to play live and it's going to be energetic and going to have big choruses, but also these big sentiments that people can really resonate with and have an emotional response to rather than just moshing and getting in the pit kind of thing. So yeah, that was kind of what we were focusing on, just trying to have that balance between the two.
Actually, it's interesting you mentioned like the songs with sentiments and stuff. Like these days, it's a disposable society. Like people's attention's
Mm.
getting less and less. So, do you find that people are actually still getting into the lyrics and enjoying the message, I guess, rather than just getting into the music?
Yeah, I think there gets to be this divide where it's like that's where I find like your core fans are. Like you can really tell the ones who are like, say the ones coming to like these album launch parties because they're like limited capacity, small, intimate venues. They're the kinds of people that like I love chatting to and like they tell me about their story of how they relate to a song and why it connects with them so much and all that kind of thing. So there's like your core fan base, and then I think there's like your more peripheral kind of fan base, which, might be the people who are like they found you through a playlist on Spotify or something and then just like chucked you in their like everyday playlist or whatever. They listen to you and they're like, yeah, I like this band, but maybe don't go to the extent of like diving deeper into meanings behind songs and things like that, which is so fair. Like I do that with so many artists as well. Like it'd be ridiculously taxing to do a deep dive on every artist you listen to. So yeah, I think it's just it's the core fans that really, dive into that. And that's what I like writing for. Like I like writing for those people. So they've got that extra tidbit to kind of dig into.
Nice. Now you've released the singles Counting Hours, Evergreen, Nothing Stop Me Now, Stargazers, Say What You Want, 90K. So are they a good sonic representation of what to express? There's a few songs on there.
Yeah, yeah, there's a lot of songs. I think, yeah. There's it's kind of interesting because like the record has a lot of different flavors to it. And in my mind, like every song kind of has its own personality and it sits in like its own kind of like sonic realm. And I think you can kind of hear that across all of the different singles. Like they all have a very similar feeling to them in terms of like what makes it feel like Dear Seattle. But I think they all kind of touch on different sonic palettes and like flavors in a different way. And so yeah, I think the rest of the record kind of follows that trajectory of like it has the thing at its core, which is so true to us, but then we just like explored with the production or explored with the sonics of how stylistically we wrote the guitars or what like synths we overlaid on top of choruses and things like that, just to give it that different flavor.
Right. Now, I was racking my brains with the song IDC, trying to come up with something witty to say what you've called it, but it's not as simple. I don't care, is it? You guys are more in depth than that, aren't you?
It is literally, I don't care.
Get
But
creative.
it's funny you say that though, because that song, like the point behind that song is like not overthinking shit and not trying to like. I think like I realized in a lot of things that I do, like in life as well as artistically, I try and like imbue all of this meaning and everything has to have like a bigger picture to it and a bigger story. And I kind of like deprive myself of like doing shit just for fun and just for the sake of like enjoying yourself and nothing else. And like that song was really an experiment in that, being like, you know, all of us when we were writing that song were sitting in the studio just like wetting ourselves laughing, coming up with the lyrics and just like it's so crazy. Like you would never really expect a DS song to have the lyrics that it does, but it's a part of us. Like we're like dumb, fun boys who like having a giggle. So like, why not have that as a part of the record as well?
I deliberately didn't listen to the song because I didn't want to know what it meant till I spoke to you. And
Yeah, yeah,
okay, mate, thank you.
yeah. Enjoy it.
Now I noticed there's no song on the album called Toy, which means the title's got to have a bit greater significance.
Yeah, I think funnily enough, like again, it was one that we just like kind of said and it felt right just because I think so much of what this record is about is like this transitional period of moving from almost like adolescence into like adulthood and working out, all of your mistakes and your pitfalls and things along the way and the lessons that you learn. And I think it kind of felt like toy had this nice like nostalgia to it. Like you think about toys and like everyone has that one toy that they think of as soon as you say it. Like this one thing that you grew up with that, is maybe a teddy bear or transformer or whatever, but like the one that has this special sentiment to it. And I think to me, like all of the stories in this record, they have a lot of nostalgia to it and a lot of self-reflection, and it's kind of looking at a period in my life and now being older and reflecting on it, how I feel about it and how I feel about how I acted in those moments. And so I think, yeah, like I think a toy was just so nicely representative of that throwback and that nostalgia and the like reflection on the past and where you come from.
And that's why the cover's in black and white. It's an absolute piss,
Exactly, exactly.
mate. I couldn't stop looking at it.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Funnily enough, like that photo it's not staged in the slightest. It is literally our old drummer, Josh. I think we went to go see Rolling Blackouts Coastal Fever at the Vic in Marrickville. And once we left, it was just there. Like that, how it is set is exactly how the phone booth was. And it's a photo taken on an iPhone, and I just like took it into Lightroom and like edited it and touched it up and obviously made it look like an album cover.
Right.
But yeah, it just felt, it had such a nice connection again to that concept of like this is actually a memory of a night out from my past. Like we're all there together at the time when it was taken. Like it just felt so right, and it's still captivating to look at. So
How
just
drunk did that teddy bear get by the end of the night?
I, oh yeah, I think we like tied it to a Hills hoist and started swinging it around.
Next album pictures, though.
Yeah.
You guys are halfway through a tour that started in Hobart back on December 12th, mate. You got Canberra this Thursday, then Wollongong, Sydney, and Newcastle over consecutive nights. So how's the tour been going? Have people been getting into the new music?
Yeah, honestly, it's been hectic what the response has been, and it's been so nice doing these shows because like we've been playing a whole bunch of the record, and it's so nice to see how people are reacting. Um, and like I distinctly remember at I think it was the day of maybe Hobart or I can't remember which show, but Counting Hours had come out that day or maybe like within 24 hours before the show, and there was people at the show singing every word to it, and I was just like, are you kidding me? Like, you can't ask for more. You can't ask for more than that. And, I think for us as a band, like as you start to progress and you move on to bigger venues and stuff, you don't really get to have that like pub feeling where like you hang out after the show and you get to like chat to people and hear, why they're connecting with the music and what songs they're loving and even just chatting about music in general, like what other bands they love. And I think that to us is like it's really special and it makes us feel really connected to the community of people that we've been building. Because we really have a big focus on that, like community. We think it's really important to make sure that music is a place where people feel like connected to other people. And so yeah, it's the perfect way. Like if we're not out there chatting with people, then like what's the point?
Damn straight, brother. Now, before I let you go, we've got a new segment I've introduced called Photo Bomb. So basically, I've trolled your social media before we spoke. A couple of photos that I want you to tell me a bit more about.
Yeah, sweet.
First one, like, I know the new album's pretty good, mate, but I've heard that the vinyl's a little bit better. Photos. Look at him.
That's the feeling that it gives. Once you listen to it, you'll know. That's it. Summed up perfectly. Picture says 1,000 words.
Moving on. Photo from this gig here, mate. Like, it looks like a great venue. And how cool is it playing places like that where people can sweat on you?
Yeah, that was actually the crazy story behind that one. So that was our show in Paris on our most recent Europe tour. And I think like a week before we were supposed to play a different venue, and they like the promoter got fired, and the venue decided to cancel all of the shows that the promoter had been putting on, and so they were just like, "Yeah, we'll try and find you another venue, but we can't guarantee it's going to be good." And so they ended up finding us this, and it's a basement of like a cafe slash bar, and you walk down these stairs and it is tiny. Like that's a really wide angle lens there taking a photo, but they said it was 70 capacity, and with 50 people in there, it was like sardines, absolute sardines. And there's people who like couldn't get in the door, they were sticking their head through the little doorway on the left there, and it was sick. Like it felt so unique and like I don't know. I kept thinking at the time, I'm not equating us to this band, but like when people say like, oh, I remember seeing Nirvana in like this friend's garage in whatever year, and like it felt like one of those shows where it's like if you were there, it felt special. So it was sick.
Mate, if there's any justice in the music world, you'd be bigger than those pricks in Nirvana one day anyway.
I like you. Let's do that.
Thanks for your time. Been an absolute pleasure. The album Toy is out this Friday, January 17th, and it's really good quality slab of music, mate. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. You've been great. Cheers.